Hi, welcome to this part of our how-to video series. We're going to be looking at today is road bikes, and we're going to help you pick between the various different options. They're all going to be running on a general theme. They look pretty similar in that they've got a lightweight, efficient frame, a drop handlebar for the multiple hand positions, STI levers that combine the braking and shifting performance together, 700C wheels and relatively skinny tyres. The various options are there for different styles of road riding. It involves the distances covered, the conditions and what's going to provide the best performance for you. Looking at the road bike first, we've incorporated latest materials. So this has got a carbon fibre frame for the optimum in lightweight and efficiency. Also compliance, there's a degree of compliance in there for rider comfort. You'll notice there's a large block of carbon fibre material positioned around the bottom bracket area. This is to ensure that all the stiffness from pedalling the cranks goes into the bottom bracket, down through the chainstays and directs all that power straight to the rear wheel. The top tube of the bike and the top of the seat stays, you'll notice, are significantly thinner than the lower half of the bike. The reason for this is to introduce some rider comfort. What this enables is the bike to absorb some of the vibrations and prevent them from transferring through to the rider. The handlebar and stem position is going to be relatively low and aggressive. The front end of the bike is going to be low to maintain an aerodynamic position for good cornering grip on the front wheel and overall balance. The width of the bar is going to be relatively narrow in proportion with the width of the rider's shoulders. Tyre width is going to be slim, generally speaking around 23C, so 23mm wide, lightweight and efficient as possible. Directly contrasting that with the next category, which is a sportive bike, very similar to a road racing bike. Slightly different style of riding in that this is a slightly slower pace for long distance endurance events or roads more difficult condition. But it's also a very good option for 100-mile rides and long sportive rides that people will do at weekends in and out at events across the country. The reason why these are a better option for that type of event is, generally speaking, the rider position is slightly more comfortable. You have a slightly elevated front end in comparison to the racing bike. This enables you to have slightly less strain on your back whilst also maintaining the excellent efficient pedalling position. The bike is slightly longer, which means it's slightly less aggressive in cornering. However, it does mean it's more stable and easily controlled on longer day rides. Elements designed to introduce greater comfort. Simple things such as thicker bar tape with gel inserts for padding, slightly wider tyres moved up to a 25 or a 28C width. The carbon fibre frame design will also have a larger block of material around the bottom bracket and chainstay area to introduce pedalling efficiency, and around the seat tube will have more features designed for comfort. Therefore, this bike has extremely thin seat stays to introduce compliance. Flexibility in the frame enables more of the vibrations to be absorbed and the ride to be more comfortable for the cyclist. This also has an additional feature which is common in this type of bike, and that's to introduce more compliance and be a smoother ride for the rider, particularly useful on long days where all those little bumps and vibrations can absorb a lot of your energy as the day goes on. Wheels on both these bikes will be a 700C, slightly skinnier tyre width for a racing bike in comparison to the sportive bike. The wheels and other components will be very similar, if not the same. You may also find slightly different bar position and width, as well as the drop of the bars for different comfortable positions and personal preference. Drivetrain, the gears will be exactly the same. You'll be looking at higher gearing for racing and sportive bikes for high speed on the road. A touring bike. Specific features for this bike: similar geometry and layout overall in comparison to road and sportive bike. However, this is more than likely going to be made out of a steel frame for strength and durability. What it also means is it's much easier for people to put mounting for pannier racks for touring and carrying luggage and accessories with you. We'll also feature those on the front fork as well for different options. Tyre width on these bikes will be slightly wider, if not the same as a Sportive bike, on the basis that a little bit more comfort and cushioning is desirable for a long day in the saddle. Bikes generally will be lightweight, but the bigger focus will be on strength and durability. Some touring bikes will feature different braking. Instead of a road caliper, they'll feature either a disc brake or a cantilever brake for reliability and ease of maintenance. These also allow the bike to accommodate a larger tyre and provide more clearance. Next category is cyclocross bikes. Whilst technically cyclocross is not a road racing discipline, these bikes also feature in this section due to a very similar layout, configuration as far as the components, the geometry, but also they double up as excellent commuter bikes, particularly for the winter and rough roads. Also featuring a drop handlebar, lightweight, efficient frame, they feature chunkier, often treaded tyres, generally speaking 32C or wider, to enable you to have enough grip off-road and on rougher surfaces. This also allows a lower pressure to be run in the tyre without fear of punctures, enabling you to have a more cushioning and comfortable ride. These will normally feature either disc brakes or cantilever brakes, which will enable a wider tyre to be used. Some cyclocross bikes will also feature top-mounted levers so that you're able to also brake whilst using the top hand position on the handlebar. Gearing may be slightly lower, ideal for winter riding in slower conditions and also off-road riding where speeds are more difficult to achieve. In summary, we've covered a few of the different types of road cycling bikes out there. The main two will be a traditional racing bike and a Sportive bike, but as we've covered, some of the other options might be more suited to a specialist purpose. With racing bikes, you're looking at a more aggressive geometry, faster handling, and generally racing in a pack. Sportive bike, you're looking at more relaxed geometry, a more comfortable ride, an easygoing long day road bike. Touring bike, you're looking at strength and durability and the ability to carry luggage with you. A cyclocross bike is going to handle some off-road riding as well as also being a good commute or hack bike